We're starting tonight with a major legal move that may soon come out of the Haitian immigrant influx in Springfield. We now know criminal charges have been filed against former President Donald Trump and his running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, by a nonprofit Haitian support group. They are alleging Trump and Vance spread unproved claims of immigrants eating pets, leading to the harassment of Haitians. Darryl Rowland is now taking a closer look at this tonight.
Can a private citizen really file criminal charges, even against a presidential ticket? It's rare, but it is allowed by Ohio law. Charges don't have to come from police or a prosecutor. These were filed by a San Diego group that works with immigrants across the country, including the several thousand Haitians in Springfield.
This is an affidavit filed in good faith by our client, bringing criminal charges against Trump and Vance.
That's Cleveland attorney Sabot Chandra, saying the unusual legal action aims
to hold them accountable in a way that anybody else would have been held accountable by now had their conduct and their relentless falsehoods resulted in 33 bomb threats, school closures, city hall closures, college closures, threats to the mayor and his family. If anyone else had done this by now, they would have been arrested.
Clark County prosecutor Dan Driscoll spoke to us by phone Tuesday. The Republican says the merits of this case will be taken seriously.
I can almost assure you is that no matter who reviews this, they're going to review it based on the law and not based on who the subject of the investigation or the subject of the charges is.
A spokesperson for the Trump-Vance campaign gave us this statement. President Trump is rightfully highlighting the failed immigration system that Kamala Harris has overseen, bringing thousands of illegal immigrants pouring into communities like Springfield and many others across the country. President Trump will secure our border and put an end to the chaos that illegal immigration brings to our communities. City leaders and Governor Mike DeWine have repeatedly declared that the Haitian migrants in Springfield are in the U.S. legally.
That was Darryl Rowland reporting. Now, Springfield Mayor Rob Rue also commenting tonight on these criminal charges filed. He says in part, quote, "It is critical that public discussions, especially on sensitive issues like immigration, are grounded in facts and not falsehoods. Springfield's priority continues to be the safety and well-being of our residents, including the Haitian immigrant community."
City manager comes on TV and says there's never been a report of it.
Hey, who just did that? Because I'm going to ask you to go. Monaghan, you got to go, my friend. Thank you.
So
appreciate you. Just a minute, Mark. Thank you.
Click, Mark.
Thank you.
Members of the Springfield community fed up with the national spotlight. They spoke up at a city commission meeting tonight. Kasha Hancock was at that meeting where things got pretty heated. Kasha, what were people saying?
Elise, it was a room full of mixed feelings. Some community members say that the community needs to come together and move in unity and accept people no matter where they come from, while others say they don't think the United States should, quote, be bombarded with people, whether they're here legally or illegally.
It just adds to the point that they want to put Haitian citizens above the regular citizens.
Darlene Yealy of Springfield saying it makes her angry that her hometown is still at the center of national attention. She tells me she believes Haitian immigrants get away with things others in the community do not.
There was an accident close to where I live on Dura Road yesterday, close to Roses. A Haitian ran into a concrete block and smashed the front end of his car. Those things happen all the time.
Others who spoke in the meeting sharing similar views.
And I want to know why are these people being coddled and pampered and giving us a beautiful life, a life better than I live.
But there were other residents, including members of the Haitian community, encouraging the city of Springfield to be open-minded and to remove any hate they may have, adding they don't fear the Haitian community, but they do fear the hate that is present in the community.
I feel for my refugee and immigrant families and kids who have done nothing except escape and try to find safety.
I think it's time to stop the rhetoric idea that Haitians are this, Haitians are that. We need to embrace the idea that the city of Springfield needs to unify. We need to be united. We don't need to fight over nonsense stuff.
We'll continue to update you on air and online at Dayton247now.com as we learn more from the city of Springfield. Back to you.
Now, we, of course, have been keeping you up to date on air and online. You can find all our coverage right now at Dayton247now.com. The man accused of leading police on a chase that ended with a crash into a train in Miamisburg has now been indicted. This man here, 32-year-old Jonathan Brown, is now facing several charges, including felonious assault, failure to comply, and interference with a moving train. Police say back in August, Brown led officers on a chase after allegedly being found at Butler Township Hotel with 2 juveniles. That chase ended on North Riverview Avenue when he reportedly drove into the side of a train, leading to an hours-long standoff. Brown was eventually taken into custody. He's scheduled to be arraigned tomorrow. One person now in the hospital tonight after a shooting in Springfield. Dispatch telling us it happened at the intersection of South Wittenberg Avenue and West Grand Avenue. That person was taken to Miami Valley Hospital by Care Flight. We're now working to learn their condition. When we do, of course, we'll update you on air and online at Dayton247now.com. Well, the Clark County man charged in the deadly shooting at Summit Square Apartments in Dayton pleaded not guilty. 23-year-old Aldesheen Morgan faces several counts in connection to the shooting death of 32-year-old Corwin Moore. Dayton police say officers responded to that shooting on Summit Square Drive earlier this month. When they got to the scene, they found Moore with a gunshot wound. A further investigation revealed there was an altercation in the parking lot involving Moore when he was shot. Morgan is now being held behind bars on $1 million bond. We now know tonight the 2 people shot on Hoover Avenue in Dayton last weekend were teenagers. The shooting happened Saturday afternoon just after 12. Police say a 16 and 17-year-old were taken to the hospital with gunshot wounds. They are expected to be okay. A suspect has not been arrested. Dayton Police's Violent Offender Unit is investigating. We now want to give you a look at the radar as evacuations are currently underway in the state of Florida tonight. The National Hurricane Center says Tropical Storm Helene is expected to strengthen into a hurricane tomorrow and even could intensify into a Category 3 storm on Thursday. Forecasters warn there is a danger of life-threatening storm surge along the entire west coast of the Florida Peninsula. And as Tropical Storm Helene barrels towards Florida tonight, Ohio Task Force 1 is already packed up and ready to head south to help. This as the storm could intensify again into that Category 3 by the time it makes landfall. Jenny Bork is live from Vandalia tonight. So Jenny, how many task forces are already on their way?
Yeah, Elise, Ohio Task Force 1 is one of 6 already on their way to Florida tonight. Task force leaders tell me the curriculum is the same for everyone nationally, which makes it easier to work together once the boots hit the ground.
We're just one big team. FEMA is one big team.
Ohio Task Force 1 is on its way to Florida to prepare for search and rescue efforts if Tropical Storm Helene turns into a violent hurricane. The 82-member team packed up 16 vehicles with over 50 tons of equipment to be prepared for anything, all the way from a building collapse to a water rescue.
The danger is just getting to where the people need help, you know, driving through flooded waters and everything else and trying to reroute to make sure that we can get in.
Something as simple as street signs or recognizing a building, knowing where to turn left or right. A lot of times that stuff is non-existent after a storm.
To help with search and rescue in these challenging conditions, Ohio's team also uses K-9 units. I asked Craig Valdier, K-9 search specialist, what it's like to see his partner Dutch get to work and find people trapped under the rubble and debris.
To watch a dog get into scent and then just change his whole entire body language that we can pick up on and say, hey, wait a minute, we got something, folks. That is so rewarding to watch.
Both Newman and Landis say the team prepares for anything they may encounter.
The folks that are impacted run a wide range of emotions and loss that they deal with. We're trained for it. The guys are able to compartmentalize that and focus on the mission at hand and move forward.
The task force is stopping in Tennessee tonight, and then they have to be in Orlando by 5 o'clock tomorrow to hunker down and wait to see if their rescue efforts are needed. Back to you.
And here's a look at Helene right now. This is our latest update. Still a tropical storm with maximum sustained winds of 60 miles per hour. However, it is expected to strengthen very quickly once it makes its way into the Gulf of Mexico. So it's about to track through the Yucatan Peninsula. And then as it makes its way into the Gulf, eventually becoming a major hurricane is what we're expecting, making landfall along the western coast of Florida, bringing significant impacts there. Here in the Miami Valley, though, notice the track turning to eventually the northwest. We're expecting to see some moisture here in the Miami Valley from Helene later this week. Until then, we're starting to see things quiet down for us. We've had an active day of weather, record rainfall for the Dayton area, and showers are now tapering off. We're going to be pretty quiet these next couple of days until those rain chances pick up again. But you can see how those showers fell apart, maybe some light rainfall through parts of Shelby County. 60s across the board, lower 60s off to the west. Now tonight we'll drop into the 60s again. Some fog developing during the morning hours, so that's something to keep in mind for that morning commute and kids out at the bus stop, and a very small chance for a shower, but temperatures closer to normal with highs in the 70s. I'll talk more about those rain chances coming up in just a bit.
A 4-year-old girl without her mother tonight after a violent weekend in Dayton. What Dayton police say led up to the tragic shooting.
Plus, I'm tracking this round of rain moving out and eventually more rain moving back in. I'll time it all out for you. That's coming up. Here's a live look from our Eco Plumber Skycam. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
The Sports Desk.
The city of Dayton seeing another violent weekend where 2 people lost their lives. One of those victims was a 26-year-old woman. Lydia Bice spoke with Dayton police about the case today and shares what led up to the tragic shooting.
A 26-year-old mother was in the back seat of a car with her 4-year-old daughter when she was struck by a bullet. Now, her boyfriend was driving their car and tried to get her to Miami Valley Hospital, but she didn't make it, passing away in front of her little girl.
After the gunshot went off, he began to hear his girlfriend screaming that she had been shot, and she was shot and passed away inside the motor vehicle with her 4-year-old daughter in the back seat with her.
The Dayton Police Department has access to cameras on I-75 southbound near where this incident took place, but they say there's no indication of road rage or suspicious activity. The driver says he recalls seeing a blue Chevy Impala and another white vehicle behind him at the time of this incident. And now, if you at home have any information, you're urged to call Miami Valley Crime Stoppers at 937-222-STOP. Now, I reached out to local mental health agencies like Care House and Adamus, even Dayton Children's, to see what types of resources are available for families who are impacted by tragedies like this one, but they didn't have anyone available today. Back to you.
The second homicide in Dayton this weekend took place Saturday afternoon on Luella Avenue. A group of 5 young people, police say, were in a stolen white BMV when they drove up to a group of people standing outside and opened fire.
Our victim, who was 36 years of age, just standing there, had nothing to do with any of this type stuff, just standing there, but he was shot and killed.
Police say that the white BMW was reported stolen just before the shooting, and there have been 412 cars stolen in Dayton so far this year. Again, if you have any information on the case, you're urged to call Miami Valley Crime Stoppers at 222-STOP. A live look now over the Beaver Creek area from our Eco Plumber Sky Cam. We got a little bit of rain out there, Natalie.
Yeah, in fact, record rain in Dayton. So adding on what we've seen for the rest of the evening, we're now up to 1.5 inches of rainfall for today. Previous record 1.15 inches set back in 1945. So some good rain across the area, some soaking rainfall. Unfortunately, some spots didn't see as much as others. We did see some heavier pockets for portions of the Miami Valley, with other spots not receiving much at all. But if you want some rain, we do have some in the forecast. So here are rainfall stats: 1.83 for September. So we are behind for the month still, but now we've surpassed that inch behind. And then we're also 2.28 inches behind since January 1st. So we're starting to break into that deficit just a little bit. Front's making its way through, so those showers starting to weaken. We'll continue with some clouds, perhaps a shower over these next couple of days, but it's not until Friday those rain chances really begin to increase. So tonight we'll drop into the 60s with some patchy fog developing across the area. Tomorrow, most of the day quiet. We'll stay in the 70s with skies mostly cloudy during the day. In fact, some parts of the day could just stay overcast. So definitely fall-like tomorrow. And then by our Thursday, small chance for showers returns to the area. It's not really until Friday we're going to be talking about Helene, right now a tropical storm. However, later into the week, we will be looking at impacts as far as rainfall from Helene, not just for our Friday time frame, but potentially even into the weekend, starting off next week. Moisture lingering across the area, keeping rain in the forecast. So there's a look at rainfall totals. Potentially could see an additional inch or so on top of what we've already seen, which would be good news for us. Coming up, we'll have a look at the 7-day and talk about what we're expecting as we head into next week.
The state unveiling a new license plate program here in Ohio, how it's expected to help those with communication disabilities and how you can apply. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Take Dayton 24/7 Now news
Dayton Public School leaders helping to break down stereotypes. They took part in a group simulation. Now, they were given an identity, income, status of living in a home or homeless shelter, and then had to figure out how to survive.
We felt that it was necessary, given the high low income percentage we have in Dayton Public Schools, that we provide this training to our school staff and our community partners to make sure that they have a better understanding of what our families go through on a day-to-day basis.
The goal is to build empathy and to change the way